Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the OCP, the Original Copycats podcast. It is Tuesday, and that means that there is 5 sleeps to go until Christmas. 5 sleeps, man. What is going on? Where has the time gone? I say this every episode. I should probably come up with something different, shouldn't I? Anyway, are we all looking forward to it? That's the main question. I think I'm feeling a bit more Christmassy now. I think mainly because I've started to relax a little bit now that I've got the majority of presents for people. And I was listening to some of my all-time favourite Christmas music in the car the other day. And you can call me an old man, but I love a brass band at Christmas. And I was listening to some on Spotify, and I was fucking loving it. It was great. So I'll play a little segment of my favourite song right here. Oh, wasn't that great? Let's move on then, shall we, to the meat of the episode. And you'll see why I said that when you hear all about the 9th Yule lad. Here we go. Well, it was safe to say that things were starting to get a little mental in the house. Not only had you been knocked flat on your ass by a door, but now you'd had a yogurt-obsessed nutcase attacking your mother and chasing you around the house. Where was it going to go from here, you wondered? You were getting your coat and shoes on. It was a family tradition to visit the neighbours for one night nearer Christmas. They had a pig farm just down the road, and they served the most delicious pork on Christmas Day. As you exit the house with your parents, you can't help but wonder whether your empty house would be visited by the next of the Yule lads. You open the car door as your warm breath evaporates in the air in front of you. It was a cold night, but the prospect of a roaring fire and hot food was taking your mind off things. You all drive in the snow to your neighbour's house down the road. As you approach, you see its light glowing from inside. An inviting sight, the moon above illuminating the white snow upon its roof. You are all greeted at the door by the neighbours, who are friendly and jovial as always. After talking for a while to the neighbours, Tom and Emily, you are pulled aside by Tom. He asks you if you wouldn't mind helping him to get the meat for dinner later. You agree, of course, and follow him out into the cold air outside and down a small path to their smokehouse. Smoked sausages were on the menu tonight, and you were looking forward to them. You reach the small white hut with the pointy roof, and it reminds you of something. The pointy red hat of a Yule lad. You try to drive the thought from your mind as you enter the smokehouse. You cough as the air thickens with flavour. "Hold on a second," Tom says, and he closes the door with you inside. You look at the sausages, all looking delicious. The leaky roof above drips onto your shoulder, but you wipe it off. You think to yourself about the lovely meal you were to have with your family very soon. Your stomach rumbles at the thought. Another drip from the roof lands on you, this time on your head. You wipe it away with your hand, forgetting for a second that your head was bruised from your fall. You wince in pain. Another drip from above, this time on your neck. You shudder and move out of the way, but then almost instantly, it happens again. "Oh, for God's sake," you say, looking up to see the hole in the roof. However, instead of a hole, you found something else. The open, grinning mouth of a pointy-hatted Yule lad. Saliva dribbling from its mouth, it was flowing from him like a waterfall, and it quickly dawned on you that the roof had not been leaking at all. You back away towards the door in disgust. "What do you want?" you ask as the creature dangles from the rafters above. He points a long, bony finger towards the sausages. You want the sausages?" you ask, your voice slightly trembling. It nodded enthusiastically as the spit roped all over the rafters. Some of it landed on the sausages below, and you made a mental note not to eat any of them when it came to dinner time. You wander over to the sausages carefully, not taking your eye off of the ravenous Yule lad above. You grab the string of sausages and gently hand them up to him. He gestures for more, to which you oblige, fearful of what might happen if you refuse. He snatches them from your hand, jumping down from the rafters. He runs out of the door and into the freezing snow. Moments later, Tom arrives and looks at you and the obvious lack of sausages behind you. You sigh. Have you heard of the Yule lads? You ask. So this was Sausage Swiper, a mischievous meat-eater that loves to hide in the rafters above smokehouses and steal sausages, as the name suggests. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether he cares about the quality of the sausage. If not, I'm sure he'd have way more luck finding stuff in Tesco or something, rather than smokehouses in the middle of nowhere, but it certainly sounds like some of the customers I've seen in my local supermarket. So join me again tomorrow for the next of the Yule Lads, number 10. And with that, that's the end. Bye. Oh, one more thing before you go. Leave us a 5-star review, will you? Cheers, mate. Thanks. Bye. But now you'd had a yogurt, you try to drive the thought out of your mind as you enter the smokehouse. You try to drive the thought out of your mind. No, you wipe it away with your hand, forgetting for a second that your head was bruised from your fall. You wince in pain. No, I'm going to read that again. Another drip from the... Another drip. Fucking lips, man. Another drip from the roof lands on you. No. You wander over to the sausages carefully, not taking your eye off of them. Moments later, Tom arrives and looks at you and the obvious lack. So this was Sausage Swiper, a mischievous meat-eater that loves to hide in the rafters above. Come on, Alex.